All part of the tactic. There he is.
Yeah. Is that a frog?
Yep. No, he got off. I like. You know what? I'll show you. True textbook.
There's like literally 1 leaf and a half-mile radius.
Serious.
You son of a gun.
I'm not even recording.
You son of a... Okay.
There we go.
It's not bad fish, dude.
No, he's dogging me.
It's not bad fish at all. Hey. Not bad, bro.
Well, didn't get the hook set, but got everything else.
It's okay.
He's like 3 pounds, bigger than Tim's.
You cheated, by the way.
That was textbook.
Cheated. We're over here trying to catch
Textbook.
our first fish on top water. He throws a Texas rig.
Hey, in my defense, it was textbook. Thank you, fishy. Oh wait, I got that one.
Ah, there you go.
So textbook, what did I mean by here's a good textbook lesson? My name's Deline, this is Deline's Outdoor Fishing, and I'm about to teach you a lesson. So, in that situation, Tim from Tim Hahn's Fishing was throwing a topwater lure, and the fish did not commit 100%. He missed it. I didn't really get a good visual look of exactly what happened, but he did not get that fish. So as you saw, I picked up a pole which had a Texas rig Cinco on it, and I flipped right to where he was at, or casted right to where he was at, and it was a lay down tree, and that fish bit. So whenever you miss a fish on a topwater, it's just not committing 100%. You usually don't get that second chance. If you get that second chance, you're probably not going to get that third. It's just how topwater goes. But flipping a Cinco to where that fish missed your topwater always does the trick. Most, probably 99% of the time. I haven't had a time where it doesn't do the trick. And it was a trick that took me years to learn. And I learned it off YouTube. Went out, missed a fish, bloop, got it back. And this is what this video is about. It ties in very well. Today's video is about fishing a worm. When the bite gets tough, a worm is just such a good bait to throw all around. I don't know why, but the worm has been around for years, and it's always been a key bait, a key plastic to throw. I would say basically all year round. Now there are multiple worms to throw. Okay, there's a Cinco, which is like it's a stick worm. It's a stick worm is what you want to call it. There's different names. It's a Cinco. Every company has it. Cinco is the Yamamoto term for it. There's the shaky worm. There's a swim worm, which has an appendage on it, which it causes it to basically kind of like a ribbon tail, just a little bit less action. Then there's the 10-inch ribbon tail worm. So you got right here, we got these 4 different types of worms. And when the bite gets tough, a worm is usually the way to go. With the Cinco, there's multiple ways you can go about it. Texas rig, you could do Texas rig, weightless, wacky rig, which is Tim Hahn was throwing a wacky rig, Tokyo rig, even on a drop shot if you wanted to. They come in multiple different sizes, from big to small. A shaky worm, which is one of my favorites to throw. I'll throw a shaky worm all year round, and the only thing I would change about it is the weight of my shaky head and the size of my worm. And so in the summer I would like to go usually bigger. In the spring I'll go an average size of I think this one's like 6 inches long. And then you have your ribbon tail worm, which is very common that everyone knows. This one's a 10-inch, maybe 10 and a half. I think this one's a 10 and a half inch. And I will throw that a lot in the summer in the deep brush piles, flipping, casting deep, all summer long. That's what I'll throw. But these ribbon tail worms also come in different sizes. So they're not just for the summer. You can throw them in the spring, the fall. And then the swim worm is a very good worm I like to throw in the springtime where the water's still cold. They don't want a lot of baits that will give out a lot of action. So it's a very subtle bait with just a little bit of action with this little appendage that it has on it. Not as much as I would say it doesn't give off as much as a ribbon tail, but it gives off enough for that still semi-cold lethargic fish that just wants an easy bait to pick up, that easy meal. Okay, so a worm is just the way to go when the bite gets tough. And today we were out on the water. We had a game plan. We had all our rods rigged up. We checked the weather, and we were prepared for the best. And of course, just like fishing is, it wasn't what we prepared for. We thought it was going to be a topwater bite. We thought it was going to be a really good bite, and it was a lot slower than what we expected. We only had about 2 hours to fish, but I think he got 2 fish. I got 2 fish. I missed 2 on the topwater, and I got bit, I think, 3 times. So we could have capitalized on more, and it just didn't go in our favor. We also had a very short amount of time to fish, but the bite was a little bit slower than what we expected. It's that time of year where things get a little tough. So we did what we knew. We went to a worm.
On you. No, I had a bite. Hey, yes. Yep.
Nah.
No, he's good though. Look at him.
Did.
Catching fishes. Of course, right before I have to leave.
He did choke it. There we go. Not a bad fish.
Not bad at all, man.
Thank you. 2 and 2.